Hello everyone. So, session 6 turned out to be the very last session of this 7-man network game that's been a complete joy to take part in. It's been a real good network game, this has, and hats off to everybody involved because we've all made this work, and to bang it out in 6 sessions has been really good. So we've got some surprises in store for you to see who won what. Just to touch on David, obviously with Tottenham, we explained before, he sort of give up on it, unfortunately. So we holidayed him through. Anthony wasn't present for this session. He was on holiday for the whole session. Obviously couldn't make it, so he was holidayed with his tactics and team selections whenever possible. So that left myself, Adnan, Johnny, Alex and Rodney all involved in the last session, and I think it was only myself that was holidayed for just the one game where I had to quickly pop off and do something. I'll show you that a bit later on anyway, but other than that, the 5 of us were slugging it out with the other 2 on holiday. So before we go to the bread and butter, which is probably the league, because that's where the most money is to be won, let's just touch back on something we've seen already, but we'll roll through it anyway. We'll start at the League Cup, which we know who won that before, but just as a little bit of a recap, that's how the League Cup went. So the League Cup was a chance for you to earn your £10 entry fee back if you won it. And here you'll see, which we said before, Adnan won this by beating Johnny's Man United. Adnan's Arsenal beating Johnny's Man United. And we'll just touch on it a little bit again. You'll see there, it was pretty much dominated really by Adnan, so a deserved win if you're looking at stats. And yeah, Adnan got his £10 back. So that was the League Cup. Next we're going to go to the FA Cup, which I think last time left us on the semi-final stage, so we'll go to that. And there we have it. So this was the semi-finals of the FA Cup. So it was a repeat of the League Cup final here. Again, Adnan's Arsenal and Johnny's Man United meeting once again, and you'll see there that Adnan's Arsenal come out on top yet again. So let's have a look there. Fairly close game if you look at the stats really, and it was a 1-0 victory. Foden scoring in the 64th minute. And Adnan would take his place in yet another domestic cup final. So he's done very well there with Arsenal. And I mean, in fairness, the squad he had and built even more was very impressive, with the likes of Grealish coming in and Foden. He made it even stronger there, and a couple of others, I believe. So yeah, Adnan knocked out Johnny there to go to his second domestic cup final. And then obviously you had the AI match, which was Ipswich versus West Ham. West Ham winning that 2-1 there. Sorry, I'm just going to have a quick look. Pretty interesting game that, a lot of action, goalmouth action, judging by the stats. So yeah, you would ultimately get an Adnan Arsenal versus AI controlled West Ham final. And how did that go? Let's have a look. Well, Adnan only went and done it again. He completed the domestic double there in terms of cups and come out a very easy winner there against West Ham, winning 3-0. Grealish getting 2, Foden getting 1. Yeah, he had 10 shots on target to West Ham's 0, so pretty much dominated the game. It weren't no fluke. He flew out the traps there, scoring in the 12th minute, closed it off towards the end, and 3-0 win there. So that actually got Adnan another £15 there, so that took his winnings to £25. So got his £10 back and made £15 profit. 25 quid there for Adnan, winning both domestic cups there. So fair play to him for that. And yeah, interesting stuff. That was the FA Cup. Not that it matters too much, but yeah, Foden was the goal scorer, the top goal scorer there with 8. Team stats, we know about that anyway. Not a great deal to show here. Obviously, getting himself on the roll of honour there with Arsenal. I think Arsenal were already the record winners, but yeah, 15 times there now with the victory. So yeah, very impressive there from Adnan to win both domestic competitions, cup competitions I should say. Fair play to him for that. So next we do the European competitions. Now there was no money riding on these competitions, and the reason being was because we weren't all competing in these competitions. We decided to put the money on the Premier League, the FA Cup and the League Cup, because ultimately we'd all be competing in them competitions. The European ones we wouldn't, so putting any money on that would make it unfair, but winning them was still imperative because you still get your name put on the roll of honour by winning them. So let's have a look. Firstly, we'll go to the Europa League, and I've gone to the quarter-final stage. I can't quite remember whether we covered that in the last video, but yeah, basically that's what happened there in the quarters. So David, even though he was on holiday through the rest of the sessions, managed to get his Tottenham through there, winning 2-0 against Nice, and as you can see, still playing his tactic. And yeah, they advanced through. So you got Barca going through as expected. I think that's how you pronounce it. Boda Glimt knocking out Celtic there, and then Johnny in a real tough one with Club Bruges there, or Brugge. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's one of the two, Bruges or Brugge. Yeah, just got himself through there, despite losing 2-1 in the second leg. Very tight game there, and yeah, got through to the semis, the 2 human players, and this is how the semis went. Look at that. Unfortunately for both human players, both of them knocked out, which would mean neither of them would make the final. It would be a Barcelona Boda Glimt final. So yeah, 6-2 on aggregate there. That was the second leg, obviously. Oh, look at that. Absolutely destroyed them. Barcelona there. Dominated the game. 2 sending offs as well. You'd expect Barca to come out on top there. So yeah, and then Man United and the Bodo Glimt game, very, very tight. Them losing in extra time with this guy Patrick Berg scoring in extra time to knock Johnny out. Johnny's Man United out. He'd be gutted with that, because they're real underdogs, I would say. Boda Glimt, if I'm pronouncing it right. So Johnny would have been disappointed, no doubt. He dominated that game. In fact, he'd be very disappointed to have lost there and not made a final. That one will hurt, but yeah, a bit of an underdog story there. So who won it? Let's have a look. And Barcelona won it, as expected. They were the underdogs there, Bodo Glimt. But it was tight. It was only a 2-1. It was very tight. They went 2-0 up, Barca, and then a bit of a scare there from this guy, Saltnez, pulling a late one back, but it wasn't enough. And Barca, probably the favourites from the beginning, you would say. They might have come down from the Champions League, actually, because don't forget this is the old format. You can't change the format of this, unfortunately. Yeah, they come in from the Champions League, so as soon as they join from the round of 32, you'd be expecting them to be the hot favourites to lift the trophy, and that's exactly what they've done there. So that's how that went. Let's go on to the Champions League. So again, we'll start at the quarter-final stage. So Adnan's Arsenal there knocked out in extra time by PSG in an absolute thriller. PSG proving to be a good team on the game, just like they are in real life. I've actually just come back from Anfield, watching my team, Liverpool, get knocked out on penalties to PSG. Gutting, but they're a good side. There's no doubt about that. A very, very good side, PSG. And the game reflects that as well, which is what I love about these updates, because they're very realistic. They sort of mimic what's going on in real life, and yeah, very good team, PSG. No doubt different on this game, and they knocked Arsenal out there, winning 4-1 in that second leg, winning in extra time, and Adnan will be a bit distraught there, I would have thought, going out. But yeah, he fell at that hurdle. Then Man City as well, going out in the quarters to Real Madrid. They actually went out to Real Madrid in real life this year, didn't they? In the round of 32 playoff round. They've gone out to them again on the game. And yeah, another extra time defeat for one of the human players. That meant Alex's Man City knocked out. And that just left Liverpool there, the only human controlled team. This time they carried the flag for England and for the human controlled teams, because they won in extra time, beating an old nemesis in AC Milan, somebody who they've had 2 finals with. So yeah, Anthony, even though he was on holiday, would be pleased to have won that in extra time to get through. And then the other one, Leverkusen, beating Monaco. So the semis, how did they go? Well, look at that. Leverkusen convincingly beating Anthony's Liverpool over 2 legs. 6-1 on aggregate. Disappointing there. That meant that only human player left in the tournament fell. And then PSG getting a very good win over Real Madrid there. 4-1 on aggregate. And these two could actually meet in real life in the semi-finals. And that would be an interesting game if that does happen. So yeah, that made it a Leverkusen versus PSG final. And Leverkusen surprisingly beat PSG in the final 2-1, and they took the Champions League. Very interesting, very tight game, very close there. Same amount of shots on goal, same on target, same off target. The passes completed, effectively possession, not a lot in it there. Yeah, 2-1 to Leverkusen, eh? They take the glory and get their name on the Roll of Honour, and I believe that is their first ever Champions League. I think they've been to a final. Yep, they were in a final in 2002. But yeah, look at that. Leverkusen take home the bacon there. And that was the Champions League. So before we go on to the bread and butter of the Premier League, let's show you how the lower leagues went, just for a bit of completion. So National League South there, that's how that ended. That was that, just for a bit of completion. Then you had the National League, York and Southend going up. League 2 playoff final was won by AFC Wimbledon, which meant obviously, yeah, that was the playoff semi. And the league, Port Vale, Bradford, Doncaster, and as we know, Wimbledon going up with them via the playoffs. That was that. League 1, Birmingham on penalties knocking out Wrexham to take the playoff spot. Semi-finals, and Stockport and Wickham joining Birmingham to go into the Championship next year. And then the Championship, which will be an interesting one. as they get promoted to the Premier League. Sunderland in a thriller with Burnley there. Look, 4-3. Wow. Winning in extra time. They make it back into the promised land of the Premier League. Leeds and West Brom obviously didn't make the cut there. Who's going up with them? Sheffield United and Middlesbrough. And they will be the three that go up to the Premier League next season. Now, here we go. Let's have a look at the Premier League then. Here we go. Who won it? Actually, before we do that, I'm going to show you these things. Make you wait a little bit longer. So Birmingham, on top of going up to the Championship next season, won the Football League trophy, beating Barnsley 3-0. And then you had the FA trophy, Solihull Moors, winning on penalties against Yeovil. There we go. Nothing else to show. Did we show the Club World Cup? Real Madrid won that anyway. Super Cup. Real Madrid won that again. Bear with me. We'll have a look at the... Yeah, we won't bother with all that. It's irrelevant, really. Just teasing you to get you to wait a little bit longer. Here we go. That's how it finished. Alex Gordon took his Man City to the top of the mountain and won the Premier League, and it was a thrilling end to the season, if I must say. You can tell, look, Man United and AI controlled Villa just 2 points off there. Chelsea 6 points off. Arsenal 9 points off. So it was very, very close. You can see there, my Newcastle, I managed to put a bit together in the end. Got us into a 6th spot. Not very good, really. The ball weren't too happy with that. But, yeah, it was from where I was at from the last session to get 6th and climb above Liverpool and Tottenham was pretty alright in the end, I suppose. But, yeah, a bit disappointing. So, basically what was happening was Villa, the AI control team, were leading the way for quite a bit. Then it changed hands. I think Chelsea were on top for a little bit, Arsenal as well, and then Alex in the end took home the glory by winning it. David's Tottenham in 12th, obviously, as we know, was holidayed. He was the lowest finisher out of all of the human players. Let's show you the bottom of the league for a bit of completion. That was it. So Wolves, Forest and Southampton going down there. Yeah, as we know in real life, Forest are up fighting for the Champions League spot, so for them to go down was a bit of a shock. But yeah, that's the Premier League for completion. But yeah, Alex taking it home there. He wins 45 quid, so he gets his £10 back and he wins £35 profit there. So him and Adnan take the spoils of the money. Adnan with 25 quid and Alex with £45. And yeah, great season it was, really great season. Let's have a look. So yeah, you'll see it's in lights there, all official. Let's have a look at the team stats. Is it team stats? Sorry, no, awards. Player stats first. So average rating, Mateta maintained that even though he moved to Bayern Munich in January, I think it was. Top goal scorer. I've only just looked at this myself actually. Isak was leading the way for such a long time. Bit gutted there, to be honest, that he ended up in third. Erling Haaland took the top spot there with 25, and then it was Marmoush who proved a great signing for Chelsea in the end. If only I could have got him that time when it fell through. Him and Isak were, yeah, they were joint second, if you like, and then Solanke in fourth. So that was the goal scorers. Penalties. This guy, Fernandes, yeah, that was the penalties. Assists, Bruno Fernandes with 17, very impressive, quite out in front there. Team goals. Let's have a look. Yellow cards, Ugarte with 16, sorry. Red cards. Man of the matches, Erling Haaland with 11, very impressive. Pass completion. Still my guy, Fabian Schär, who I didn't play towards the end because he's off anyway. 85% pass completion there. But as a defender, you'd expect them to have higher pass completions because they're short passing and things from the back. Tackles, Ugarte. Dribbles, Salah. Shots on target, Calvin Bassey. Average rating we've already looked at. Appearances, Sam Johnson that played in every single game there for Wolves. Well, quite a few people did play every single game by the looks of it. Let's have a look at these awards. So this was the team of the week. Is it team of the year there? Don't think it. Yeah, players team of the year. So this was the team of the year. So my boy Isaac getting in there with Marmouche. Tasty little front partnership, and that could have been my front partnership. Although originally I was looking to replace Isaac with Marmouche, wasn't I? But if I could have had the two of them, wow, great firepower there. Then you had Cole Palmer, Fernandes, Konate, Walker and Sanchez from the human players there, making up that. A very sort of impressive team, that one. On the bench is, as you can see there, that was the Premier League team of the year. The manager of the year, well, it was Alex. Alex took that from winning the Premier League, and then Adnan in second, who you'd expect to have it, winning 2 domestic trophies there. Johnny in third. Young player of the month. These are the young players of the months, how it ended. But yeah, that's that. These were the player of the months. So Isaac actually got it in April. For me, manager of the months, I didn't win a single one of them. It was pretty much dominated by the human managers, apart from Bournemouth, Iriola. And then, yeah, team of the weeks obviously differ each week, don't they? So, but yeah, very interesting into the season it was. Let's just have a look at how people were playing their tactics in the end. So, that was what Alex ended up playing towards the end of the season. What was Johnny playing? That's what Johnny was playing towards the end. Rodney. Oh, please ignore that. Sorry about that. It just pops up in the corner. Yeah, so Rodney, this was his. And then you got Adnan, pretty much stuck the same all the way through, I believe. Myself, well, I think I covered this from the last video. I played that in the end. Bit of a lazy one from me, really. I didn't go too much in depth with it. I think I was a bit annoyed that I was out of most things with nothing to play for. I just thought, I'm just going to settle for this. Play free, like Sesko, Isaac and Vardy up top. That's what I went with in the end. Did I show you my team instructions? I think I did. Anthony's Liverpool. Well, he stuck with that all the way through. And then David, as we know, pretty much had his same all the way through as well. That's differed a bit though, I think. That was the tactics. So, we'll do a little scroll through. You're not going to see much really, but yeah, just a slight scroll through of everyone's fixtures. So you saw, if you want to sort of pause the game and just have a look, pause the video and have a look how people done in games, then you can do that if you want to. I'm sure not many of you will, but yeah, this is just a slow scroll up on everybody's fixtures, results I should say, of how everybody done in the season. So that was Alex there. Johnny, Rodney, Adnan. Again, this is just for completion really, just in case anybody wants to see how certain games went, what the results were. I'm not sure many of you will, as I said, but yeah, just for completion purposes. Here's mine. The game that I went on holiday for was this one, the Bournemouth one. Otherwise I was present for the rest of them. I've got another thing up there coming up on Facebook, sorry about that. Yeah, that was the game I went on holiday for. They were playing my tactics and pretty much my team selection, which was good. I do apologise for that Facebook thing coming up. Probably will come up again, by the way. Anthony here. And last but not least, David's Tottenham. That's that. So that was it. End of session. End of the network game. Where do we go from here? Well, we had a vote on it. I'm going to put a sign up, and it will be open to 8 players. So whether the 6 or 7, the 7 that played last time sign up again, I would have thought they would do. A lot of them are still interested, but it's going to be open to other players as well. And the first 8 that sign up will take the places. Why 8 this time? Because we're actually going to include Aston Villa as the 8th team. So, but they'll only be assigned to somebody if we get 8 players, which might not be the case. I know that David went AWOL last time, so I don't think he's going to be involved again. Anthony will be, I think, and the other 5 of us are interested as well. So you probably get the same. You'll get 6 out of the 7 sign up for next season, which will mean paying another £10 each. And then that will mean there's 2 places open. Whether they get signed up or not, I don't know. If that's not the case, then yeah, we're going to sort something out anyway. But yeah, the plan is we're going to go into season 2 of this. So we're going to go season 2, carry on with the save, but this time the people that signed up that played last time will have to have a different team. So for example, Alex, if he signs up for the next season, he will have to play with someone else this time. So he can get Man United, Chelsea, blah de blah. Myself, obviously, I wouldn't be Newcastle, I'd be another team. That's how it's going to work. We're going to go into season 2, and it's going to be interesting because you're going to be taking on someone else's team, and it's going to be fun in seeing how you do with their team, basically. There might be some constraints, the fact that there might not be no money to spend at this team now because of the way the person before left it, but that's part and parcel of it. But it's going to be very interesting because you are now going to have to manage a different team, and it will test your managerial skills. So I'm going to leave it there. But yeah, fantastic game it was. My Facebook's getting flooded. I should have turned that off really before recording this. But yeah, hope to see you for another network game where we can again go through recap videos and keep you entertained with it all. But yeah, great game it was. And yeah, look forward to the next one. See you later.